Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along back to RFL Season 4, and we're here for the BMG RFL Round 10 around Great Britain in Silverstone. We're looking forward for a brilliant race once again in RFL Season 4. We've had 2, 3, maybe even 4, maybe even 9 brilliant races in a row so far in Season 4, which Jolly had a good grasp of in the championship. And now we move on to Britain. I'm your commentator, Morg6908, and I'll be joined today by Tom Gorian.
Hello everyone and welcome to Silverstone, the home of Racing Formula League and also round 10 of the Season 4 Championship. What a circuit to be here at today, Morgs. A circuit filled with legendary high-speed corners. Even though it's changed over the years, it's still a fun track for all these drivers today as far as they are concerned. Silverstone is a very tight and twisty and technical circuit when it comes to downforce, but also you need a setup that requires a lot of front end, rear end, and also just a lot of downforce, but not too much as far as, you know, Monaco or Hungary is concerned, but just enough downforce to make sure that you get enough time through the circuit. As we begin this qualifying session, Morgs, round 10, the tyre strategy is one thing that I've noticed. Most of the runners are on soft tyres, Morgs, and only 3 are on the mediums.
Yep. I just want to check that the audio is okay. Apparently, they can hear my stream. But anyway, I'll just wait until further confirmation of that. I'm just going to carry on as normal. WR Verstappen at the moment, he's on his outlap. He's the first car on an outlap, and as you mentioned, the tyre is most on soft, but a couple on mediums, which is interesting. Jolly, Pren, Kingsley and Aiden are all the ones who are thinking or on the mediums at the moment. So also, Tom, there is a bit of an echo from the stream from your end, so if you could sort that out, that would be appreciated. But
Okay.
At the moment though, looking at who is going on to laps and who is on the grid at the moment, who would you fancy for pole position at the moment here?
I mean, considering the past races, it has to be one man. WR Verstappen, I think he's been the qualifying ace of this RFL Season 4 championship, but also the championship leader. You can't count out Jolly, even though he's on the medium tyres though. He focuses more on race pace than qualifying pace, in my opinion. Chandler Seita in the Mercedes, he's been having really good races in the last 3 or 4 races since pretty much Monaco in Spain. He's been a man to watch out for as well. But if it comes down to one driver, WR Verstappen, as he nearly loses the back end there on the old last turn.
Oh, he's gone well off.
I just glimpsed that as well. He just caught the rear end on the penultimate last turn. Well, when I say penultimate, I mean the old last turn. Silverstone has had a very different layout when it comes to the start-finish straight and just the corners as well. But it's still a fun track as well. As wow, WR Verstappen seems to be having a bit of problems with oversteer. I think he might be running low wings and just be having a very oversteery setup, making a lot of corrections to he's gone back to the pits now, so something's not right on Verstappen, and he's just absolutely just went into the pit lane there. I think he's
crossing the line, a 126.6 from Clenzo, and he's quickly followed by his reserve teammate Vapid Q, who's making his return today to RFL.
It is.
After having a couple of races off. Jolly sits P2 now on his mediums. Dutch Gamer Lars, Chandler goes up into P2. All the times are coming in at the moment. Kingsley in P8, he's making his return, formerly known as King Liam. He's making his return after racing in Australia, but nothing since. Alcyon Mulder, man who finished second on debut last time out, he's looking for a good result today. He's currently heading up towards Cops at the moment, and through this very, very tricky section, flat out through that corner, but a beautiful section of the track now. Max and Beckett, you go left, you go right, you go left.
Langman.
As Langman goes into P1 there, but how long will that last? With plenty of drivers on laps. Danny is another one who's on a lap as well, as he's coming through towards turn 1 and 2. But here's Mulder coming up the hill. You got Pred, I think that's no Aiden who's not too far behind Mulder at the moment, but Mulder is on a decent lap. That's actually very, very wide from Mulder. I think his lap may well be abandoned, or he's going to carry it on and push anyway. Well, he's pushing, and he's coming around the final corner, and across the line, and it's P7 for Mulder.
7th.
P7 not too bad at all, but he'll be home for more for a podium sitter last time out, as Adam is in P8 at the moment. But Langman is the man that's P1 at the moment, with only 12 minutes left to go in this session.
Yeah, if there's one thing I want to discuss about this racetrack, I think it's just the overall track extending when it comes to what you can and what you can't get away with. I think that's a Stowe corner. I keep getting Copse and Stowe mixed up, but I do believe that's Stowe corner. You can go very wide on the exit and you can get away with that, but as far as how much is too much, time will tell. Let's see who's on an outlap here. Grumpy Lion, he didn't track extend Stowe that time, so he's coming through the chicane and now the final corner. Very rear car, traction heavy based around the final corner, and he goes into P5, 1 minute 26.8. That's actually a decent time compared to pretty much Ante Beacon in 4th place. Let's see, so WR Verstappen is on his outlap, and then Danny, Broomson and King Gamers 8 is on his outlap. Shout out to the stream, by the way. Thanks for tuning in with us on this Saturday night. Leave down in the comments who do you think is going to get pole position and your podium predictions as well. And I don't know, whoever gets the predictions right, I don't know, wins a cookie. Let's just say that, but an imaginary cookie. Anyway, just over 11 minutes to go of this qualifying session. Langman actually shockingly on pole position, but obviously track evolution is a massive thing on F1 2019, and the times will be dramatically dropping. Do you think we'll be getting to the 1 minute 25s? Is that a possibility, or is that just a little bit too far?
Ooh, it could be possible, you know. I think with the first laps being bankers, we could well probably see about a pole that I would say is about 4 or 5 tenths faster, and that's so close to the 25 mark. I think the top drivers could do it. Pole time in Tier 2 with the 126.5, a low 126.5. And at the moment, really, Langman's beating that. So I think we'll see the times improve, but by how much? That's going to be something that I guess we're just going to have to wait and find out. As WR Verstappen, though, he's going to be one of the people that can beat that time. He's going to be one of those people that could challenge Langman and could challenge the 125 barrier, as he now comes through Sector 2, a 102.684 after Sector 2. But not too long to go and just a final few corners to go. We'll find out whether that was a good time, and he's on a good lap at the moment. It's round through down towards Club Corner and the Club Complex before finishing across the line as he clips the left-hander, clips the right-hander apex, and now out of the final corner and across the line. So 126.1 for WR Verstappen by 3 tenths of a second. He's on provisional pole. A brilliant lap there by WR Verstappen.
Yeah, I think we have to give WR Verstappen some type of qualifying, award, like qualifying king or something, because this guy just keeps nailing it every single lap. Let's see, King Gamers, I don't think he's on a competitive lap time as he heads in towards Maggots and Beckett. I think he's just putting in a banker lap time right now. Let's see who's on a competitive lap time. I think Jolly as well. He's just started his lap time. I think he's just done a 1 minute 26.8. Oh, well, 9, excuse me, as he rounds into the, can you call it new? It's 10, it's probably, I think it's like 10 or 9 years old, that redefined first sector of Silverstone. Now in towards the Brooklyn Straight, I think it is, and then into the old complex of the final couple of corners. Obviously Silverstone was redefined and relaid out for track purposes as he comes through the old start finish straight. I used to love this section of I used to love this straight. It's 1/10 up actually is Jolly in the Williams, the championship leader. 50 points is the gap, and Jolly has had a great season, and hopefully as we round out the first half of season 4, hopefully he can round out by getting back on the win column. He won here last week. Yellow flag in sector 3. I think it's someone slowing down. Don't know who that is, but pretty much Jolly goes into Stowe corner, goes into 6th gear, doesn't really track extend that time. as he comes across into the Vale chicane, I think. Nailed that perfectly there. Now he rounds up the final corner. This is going to be a lap time 1:26.3. Second place for Jolly, and it's still just under 2/10 slower. Oh, what's happened to Chandler? Oh, he's in third place.
Behind Jolly there. He crossed the line. Just behind Jolly. I expected. I was about to mention how Chandler is a long way behind his rival, but Jolly and Chandler separated by mere thousandths of a second here. 15 thousandths of a second separate the two championship rivals at the moment, with WR Verstappen in the top racing point leading the way of them all.
Yeah, that's been the story of this season, really.
Yeah, also, sorry, just to
Verstappen.
BMG Cleanser also, we've missed him go up into P4 ahead of Langman 17, who was provisional pole sitter about 6 minutes ago. So we missed that as well whilst all that was going on.
Yeah, as well. Cleanser, we kind of expect that from Cleanser right now. We don't expect him to be like a, like a traditional, oh, wait, who's that? Who's just cut the Magnus Beckett, that is, Elsior Mulder. I think he's just doing that to get out the way. But, that will be, well, he's not even doing an outlap, so I think he'll be coming back to the pits, so I don't think there'll be any need for an investigation. Even though he's on 0 lap tyres, I think he's just doing that to get out the way. I think Jolly, I think Jolly's backed out there. He's coming back into the pits, as Chandler as well. He's coming back into the pits as well. So, pretty much, WR Verstappen's gone out for another lap, so he clearly feels like he doesn't feel like that lap time of a 26.1 will be good enough for pole position, even though he's just under 2 times quicker than
Langman's
Jolly.
Lap,
I think Langman as well. 1/10 up in the end of the first sector time. Another yellow flag. I think that's someone going slow. That is anti-beacon as Langman goes through the old start-finish straight. He's got traffic ahead, just a corner or just down the road pretty much. 7th gear, just a little flat out, but as the drivers enter the last seconds of qualifying, that will easily be flat out probably. Wow, 6th gear for Langman. Oof. Left side of the car, they're just touching the grass there. Got to be careful about this ERS, about this deployment as well. That can run out very quickly if you don't manage it as well. As Langman comes around through the final corners, that's went very wide there, did the Red Bull driver. And here he goes across the final chicane here. What is this lap time going to be for Langman? Across the line he goes, 1:26.4. 4th place, and takes Cleanser's position and 2/10 slower than Verstappen. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3 and sector 2. That's Flying Rosie. I think he spun, lost traction, lost the rear of the car, final corner. And Lion, very lucky there that he didn't make contact with Jolly's teammate. But as we enter the last 5 minutes of this qualifying session, it's WR Verstappen who's on provisional pole position, but it's still possible for either Chandler or Jolly, or even Langman maybe, to try and snatch pole position. But I think we could maybe just get into a high 25, or maybe even a flat 26 by the end of the session, Mugs.
Yep, especially from WR Verstappen, someone like him, he's only got one tenth and a bit to improve really, and he now comes to a second sector split. He's a little bit down on his personal best at the moment with 4 minutes and 28 seconds to go. Is WR Verstappen going to extend his provisional pole time, or will he have to stagnate and hope that the other drivers of Jolly, Chandler, maybe even Langman don't beat him? But WR Verstappen has come into the pits. He's dived into the pits to try and get one more run before the end of the session. He knew he was not going to improve there. Gumpy Line is in P8 at the moment. He's not on a lap. And Nuthead is not either, but BMG Nomad is a man on a lap. He's just coming through the second sector split now. How far up is he on his time? He's slightly quicker now in the middle sector. He's made some time, which he lost in sector 1. The Rico Duel challenge Nuthead and Lars to get into the bottom of the top 10 here, and he now comes through Stowe Corner. As his teammate ahead knows, and he doesn't.
Yeah, he's in the pits.
Yep, him and I think it's Adam that's just come into the pits there. Or it might have been.
Yeah, Brosser as well. Most of them are in the pits as well. As King Liam is actually on the lap. I think he might come in, even though he's on 0 lap on tyres. Yep, he's going to finish this lap. Is the Racing Point driver who was in the Ferrari, but he left and now he's back and just catches the rear end there. Here comes Kingley across the line. He goes 1:26.5, 6th place for the Racing Point driver. with 3:16 left on the track. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone's went for a softer tyre. What's it called? Tyre compound, where you get to choose your tyres. I think everyone's went for the softer compounds.
Yep,
as
Kingley
they have
went
one
up to
extra.
P6, so I don't know if you mentioned that, but Kingley just went up to P6.
Yeah,
Not
did,
bad
yeah.
from the Racing Point reserve. But yeah, everyone's on soft except Bumson at the moment. But Bumson may well change his decision. There's still 2 minutes and 44. He's still in the pits. So are most drivers.
Yeah.
But they're all beginning to file out now as King Gamers begins his lap. He sits P17 at the moment on debut in RFL Season 4. And he's now got that full-time seat in the McLaren. He's going to be hoping to prove himself, and he's got a point to prove. He's 1 second off the pace, but now as he comes through the first complex of the lap, he's going to be hoping to improve that. Jolly is also on a lap. Kingley has a
King's retired.
Jolly is up in the first. I think he retired because he's finished, but Jolly is up in the first sector. How is he in the second sector? He's break even with his time. 1/1000th of a second is the gap between himself and his personal best at the moment. He heads through the middle sector, so it's going to be a very, very close final sector. I think he's got to find a 2/10 to challenge WR Verstappen from that pole position slot as Jolly through the final few corners we go, through Club and round the final corner.
Not going to improve.
Round the final corner he goes. He's improved, but not
Slightly.
enough. He stays P2. Is anyone else able to challenge? Dutch Gamer Lars is almost at the end of his lap, and as mentioned, King Gamers is on a lap, and so is Fred as well.
4,000ths.
Who's slightly
Yeah,
up?
he's slightly up there. That's Dutch Gamers Lars in the runner. He's 4,000s up on his second sector split time. He's got traffic. That's Danny in the McLaren. Hope he doesn't run into him. Oh, he has to get out the way. I think
King Gamers is 3/10 up. He comes across the lines. Have a look at how he does as he comes across the line.
1/10.
It's P11 for King Gamers as now we'll go on to Dutch Gamer Lars. He's a 10th and a bit up as he heads now in towards the final section of the lap. Through Stowe we go, and down towards the club complex of the lap, the final section of the lap. Dutch Gamer Lars sits 12th position. Could he get himself up into the top 10 and the lower end of it? He may well be able to do so, can the Renault driver. And across the line he comes. It's
9th.
P9 for him, as now Clenzo is the first of the big runners to finish.
Pred.
Will be the first of their big runners. It's actually Pred, yeah, up into P7 there in the Ferrari. A brilliant lap there by the winner in France, and he's going to be hoping for a good result
Here
today.
comes Jolly. Oh no, he's not. No, he's not on the lap. Sorry, my bad. Let's see, Chandler. 2 temps up here as Chandler. He's got traffic as well. Everyone seems to be struggling with traffic around the circuit.
Mulder spun round there. I just went on retired, but he spun round at the exit in Magnussen Beckett's. But at the moment, BMG Cleanser with a little bit up on his personal best by about a 10th. He's got about 2 or more temps to find if he wants to get pole position.
Langman's 1/10 up.
We'll keep an eye on Langman as well, but
1/10 up.
Clenzo coming through the final complex of the lap, and he's coming across the line. He's at P5 at the moment, but where will he be now? He stays P5 with an improvement. Langman is a little bit up. He's 0.02 of a second up. Chandler, we'll see what he's doing. He's coming through Magnussen Beckett's at the moment. Well, Danny is also coming towards Magnussen Beckett's, but here comes Chandler through Magnussen Beckett's. Is he up on his time? He is a little bit up as well.
Just
he challenge Jolly,
400.
but he's got to find a really, really quick final sector here to get pole position.
Verstappen nearly lost it there. He's continuing on with his lap. Let's see, he's slightly down. Chandler's backed off.
So qualifying over really for Chandler. Danny is up on his time as well, so we'll keep an eye on Danny, but I don't think he's going to be challenged for pole position as he comes around the final complex of the lap and towards the line. Where's Danny going to slot into all this? He slots P8. But Langman is one to watch. He's 200ths up on his lap. He's got 2 temps to find. WR Verstappen improves on his lap, but is it going to be enough to stop Langman? It is enough as Langman qualifies P4. Is there anybody else to do a lap? I believe that's it.
Aiden maybe, he's on a lap, but I don't think it's going to be competitive though. He's not going to get anywhere close, I think, to Verstappen. No, he stays 19th.
Brumson is in the wall.
Brumson and Rose, what's happened there? Okay, what's happened there? Wow, that's on Stoke. Okay, that might need to get investigated more. I think, I don't want to admit it, but I think, yeah, I think that might need to get investigated at the end of the race. That's something we don't like to see if that did happen. But yeah, WO Verstappen, the clutch, is on pole position once again for the BMG Racing Formula League British Grand Prix for Season 4. He's done it again, Mugs. Another pole position, and this man, even though he didn't get to the 25s, it's another pole position for WO Verstappen and his championship rival, Jolly, the championship leader. Second place, closely followed behind by Chandler. In third place, Langman, good qualifying position for him. He qualifies fourth. BMG Clenzo in fifth, and Kingsley in sixth place. Lyon is in seventh, with McLaren driver Danny F31 in eighth. T10 Predator in ninth, and Xbox Nuthead in 10th place. And to Beacon, WO left the session.
Do you want to invite him back?
We need to get him back.
I'll invite him as well.
Yeah, I'll try to.
You can see this. But that could be a huge twist to this race, and I'm not sure what's going to happen now. Whether that was just W Verstappen, although that was multiple people, I'm not sure. But that could
just
well
W
mean
Verstappen on my screen.
Jolly will be on pole position here, but we'll have a look as clouds are overhead. Maybe this is the reason why we
overcast
saw most people on softs. Potentially rain is on its way. But I'm gonna find out what's going on with WR Verstappen, who has just left the lobby. Chandler,
he's still.
Oh no, he's not. The chat says he has.
Yeah. Well, Verstappen's still in the lobby apparently, according to Xbox, but this might be glitch. I'm not sure. A couple of people were experiencing this in Tier 2 before the race began, so let's see if everyone's just loading in correctly. We've given WR Verstappen invites, me and Morgs as well, and if he can't connect, that'll be a massive shame for WR Verstappen, and most of the grid is loaded up, and no, WR Verstappen hasn't joined grid. Which is... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if Morgs has got through the Tier 1 chat to see what's going on, but we have given his invite, so hopefully he can join back in time, but I think it might be too late for the Racing Point driver, and that if that is the case, that's very disappointing, and that's a shame that pretty much Verstappen, who was on pole, is going to pretty much get his victory taken away from him if he can't join. But, yep. Let's see what everyone's tyres on. And okay. So Anta Beacon, Adam, Nomad, Mulder, Rosie, Aiden, and Brimson all on the meat tyres trying to do the reverse strategy. The strategy.
Sorry, I just cut on board with Rosie, just went into the grass.
Yeah, so pretty much the strategy for this race is simple: softs to mediums. Pretty much, this track doesn't really do as much damage on the tyres as I thought it would. But could we see the hards? I think the hards are probably a bad race tyre, in my opinion. But, chances are, first corner, the start of the race, there's going to be a collision. Like, there always is. First corner, first lap, there's going to be a collision. Someone's going to have front wing damage. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of hard runners, and maybe even a safety car, but that's just reaching there. But as the formation lap is being done, it's a shame that WR Verstappen won't be able to join, but at the end of the day, that's it, and we are about to get underway for the BMG RFL British Grand Prix. Morgs, let's do it.
Yep, so we're about to get underway here. Jolly will now start, he'll sign up into P2, but he's going to start on now provisional pole. But with the outside line going to Chandler Saita, his championship rival, will that give Chandler better traction and potentially a better run into turn one? It's going to be a very interesting start here with Jolly on the right rather than the left. Sorry, the left rather than the right. As now we're getting ready to begin the race. The lights are coming on now. Jolly on the left hand side and Chandler on the right. We're away in Britain for RFL Season 4 Round 10. And a good start there by Jolly. A terrible start there by Chandler, but he actually slots into P2. I thought he dropped a couple of positions. Langman made it up to P3, but he's challenging Chandler around the outside. There's a bit of collision further back, but Langman down the inside of Chandler, trying to get P2 early on here, but he can't do so as Chandler holds his own. As they're going to be aligned down the inside, he's made contact with Langman. He's been spun around. He's collected King Gamer in the process, and now at the moment Jolly still leads as we head down towards Brooklands, and followed by Chandler, who's been under pressure from Langman. He's made that contact with Gumpy aligned, and TK Kingley, who has made a really good start here at the start of the race, ahead of Xbox Nuthead, who's also made a good start. Same with Adam, and same with Dutch Gamer Lars. Cleanser's dropped a couple of positions at the start, and then King Gamers, who's made up 6 places from the start there, and Pred rounds out your top 10. But Langman all over the back of Chandler as they head through Cops for the first time and down towards Magus and Beckett. It looks like it's been quite a hectic start here.
Yeah, that has been an active start, because it always is. Active Beacon and Fat Big Goosey used to be teammates earlier on in the season, along with Flying Rosary and obviously Lion, I think, got collected. So something must have happened there. Something must have happened between those two. But in the lead, Jolly is now officially in the lead. Chandler is in second, and Langman in third place. Let's go on board with Dutch Gamers. Lars made 7 positions in the first lap, so great start by Dutch Gamers, and Cleanser as well in that Alfa Romeo. Also King Gamers as well. I think he's got to jump on his teammate. He's went a little bit wide there onto the chicane. Danny has picked up the first time penalty of the race. A little bit of lag there between Gamers, and I don't know what's going on here. I think it might be just lag between Gamers or something, but the two are racing hard, and Predator is through for now. Lions in the pits, and yeah, Rosary and Beacon, but Jolly is still in the lead.
Yep, so
followed by Chandler.
Yeah, so Jolly leads at the moment, and he's pulled a 0.7 of a second gap back to Chandler. Saito won his championship round at the moment. 50 points separate them both in the championship in favour of Jolly. Chandler really doesn't fancy his chances for this season, but he has really been on fire in the last few races, outscoring Jolly by 33 points in the last 5 races. So, at the moment, really, the championship is all to play for. And although Chandler doesn't fancy his chances, I think he really could well do it. As now we head down towards Stowe. He's now closed the gap massively, 0.4 of a second. He's pulled away from Langman by 1 second. That's crucial because they're now out of DOS range of Langman, and Langman is falling under pressure from T10 Kingley. Kingley was a brilliant driver when it came to last season and season 1, and obviously he almost won season 2, but he's not really raced this season, and it's his first or second opportunity this season to really show himself, and he's right on the back of Langman already for the podium. As I believe Tom has disconnected, which is, I'm not actually sure what's happened here. As yeah, Tom has seemed to have disconnected from the party as he's no longer talking. But I guess I'll just take this over for myself for a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened here. I'll let you know as soon as possible. If we can get Tom back in, that will be very useful. But really not sure. But Jolly still leads ahead of Chandler, ahead of Langman, ahead of TK Kingsley and Xbox Nuthead. Adam follows quite a bit behind the leading group, and he's ahead of a new train of Dutch Gamer Lars, Cleanser, Pred, King Gamers, Nomad, Mulder, and XXF1 Aiden, who's under pressure from Bunsen, the man who we thought could be the man to take the challenge of Jolly. Didn't happen in the end, but it is possible he can still do it as he looks. There's Danny having a look at Bunsen around the outside, down towards Stowe. He makes contact with Bumson, and Bumson's been spun around. Bumson has been spun around. He's down to 15th place now, only losing 1 position. Hopefully no damage for his sake, but really not confirming. There's a battle for second place there. Sorry for missing it, but Langman all over the back of Chandler now, and they head out towards turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. This opportunity for Langman to challenge down the inside of Chandler. Chandler must have made a mistake. He's lost loads of time to the car in front of Jolly, and now look at how close Langman and Kingsley are, as Kingsley almost making contact there with the back of Langman's Red Bull, as now the Red Bull coming down behind Chandler on this Wellington straight here and in towards Brooklands. Can he make a challenge in towards Brooklands? No, he can't. He sits behind Chandler for a little bit longer, but you can see he's quicker. You can see he's trying to find a way past, and you can see that Langman is looking for an opportunity here with Kingley right behind as well. As now as we head through Copse once again in towards Magus and Beckett's we go, and then round up towards the exit of Beckett's and towards Stowe. Is Langman close enough to make a move? But actually is Kingley close enough to make a move on Langman? Because it looks like Langman could well be under pressure from the Racing Point reserve here, as he can't make a move though, can Kingsley? Kingsley's a little bit too far back, and Chandler now has to really focus his attention on chasing down Jolly, who's in the lead of this race by 2 seconds right now. So Jolly setting the fastest lap of the race at the moment, so Jolly really pulling a gap out in front at the moment, exactly what he's got to be doing at this stage of this race, and he's doing everything perfect at the moment. He's pulled a 2 second gap. He's ahead of Chandler, he's ahead of Langman, he's ahead of Kingsley, but most importantly Chandler, who is his champion rival, he's ahead of them. Clenzo under pressure here from Pred, he's just made a move on Pred himself, with Pred now on the exit towards at the end of the Wellington straight and towards Brooklands. Can he make a move down the inside? I think he could maybe be able to, as through the inside he goes, and he's through on Clenzo, and he's up into P8. A good move there by the race winner in France. Is now on the exit of Brooklands. They make contact there between Pred and Clenzo, and now Clenzo could well make a challenge back on Pred down towards Copse Corner. No, he can't. He has to sit behind Pred for a little bit longer, and through now we go through now Copse Corner and in towards Magus and Beckett. Through this complex, Pred is all over the back of Dutch Gamer Lars. He's trying to make a second move in this race. Instead of switching the tyres that they're all on. Adam is actually on the mediums. He's one to watch as the later stages of this race unfold. He's on those longer stint tyres. But here comes Pred. He's on Dutch Gamer Lars at the moment. To the inside he goes. Can it be 2 overtakes in half a lap here? Pred goes down the inside and he's made the move stick. Pred up into P7, and our race winner from France is really on a charge in the early stages of this race. Is there the McLaren's battling away there with Nomad as well, and Clenzo having a look at Dutch Gamer Lars there as around the outside of the final cornering club we go. Dutch on the inside, Clenzo on the outside. It looks like Clenzo's going to get that position here, and Clenzo could get P8, and he has, ahead of Dutch Gamer Lars. And now Mulder has been mugged here by the 2 McLarens, but one of them has gone very, very well. I think that's King Gamer who's gone quite wide there. He slots in behind the group and tries to get a switchback on Mulder, who's been overtaken by Nomad in the process as well. Brilliant battling here for just outside the points. There the moment for Mulder. He's now going to have to defend the inside of King Gamer. King Gamer switches back and down the Wellington straight he goes, trying to find a way past the house car, but there's no way through, and King's Gamers has to stay in 13th place. Now on the exit of actually Danny is very close to Dutch Gamer Lars. Is he going to make a move towards Copse? Surely not. This is not possible, as down the inside he goes. Danny cannot make a move on Dutch Gamer Lars. Dutch Gamer Lars holds his own there around the outside, and he stays in P10 with Danny. It's Pred on the back of Adam now as they head through the end of Magus and Beckett and up towards Stowe. Adam behind Pred, and Adam ahead of Pred, and Pred behind Adam, as through towards Stowe they go. It's just not enough for Pred to make a challenge down towards Stowe, and I mean, people might be annoying me calling that Stowe. I'm not 100% sure of the caller names, but yeah, Pred must be getting very, very frustrated behind that Toyota at the moment, but he is in P7, and they are beginning to close the gap in front as Kingley, Langman and Chandler still line astern for P2 at the moment. Chandler not able to get away, Langman not able to get past, and Kingsley not able to make a move from P4. The double DRS and double slipstream really not helping him here, because Langman is obviously getting the benefits from Chandler, and Kingsley just can't do anything. Is now Langman trying to make a challenge down at the end of Wellington Straight. Not possible for him this time, and he has to stay in P3 for a little bit longer. Hunter Peak picked up a penalty. Dutch Gamer Lars and Mulder might have come together. Yellow flag in sector 1, and they're both falling down the order, and that is Mulder off there down towards turn 2. Dutch Gamer Lars involved as well, and they both, well, Dutch Game Lars rejoins, Mulder rejoins as well, but they're both really down and out of this race at the moment, with Grumpy Lion, Flying Aussie, and Ted Beacon the only drivers behind them. As now, Langman being under pressure from Kingsley here. I'll look at the inside of Stowe. Can't make a move there. As now through Club. As now through the Club they go. Langman behind Chandler. Mulder setting getting a 3 second time. I thought that was somebody getting fast slap there as they cross the line. But Langman on the back of Chandler. I'm just going to find out what's happened with Tom, so excuse me for being a bit distracted at the moment. And I'll see if we can get back in the party. Maybe cutting off the race footage for a moment, but hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. As now Kingley on the back of Langman, who's on the back of Chandler once again. It's lap number 8 here in RFL, well, BMG RFL Britain, and it's Jolly streaking out in front here ahead of Chandler and Langman and Kingsley, who are all battling for second at the moment. This is the highlight of the race, the battle for second in BMG RFL Britain. As now we put the battle tracker on for this battle for second. Chandler versus Langman. Chandler obviously sitting P2 at the moment. He's actually closed the gap a little bit to Jolly. And actually the pit stops battle has commenced. Jolly pits, Chandler pits and Langman pits. So the front three have all pitted here. And the battle has now been taken to the pit crews. Chandler and Jolly, not Chandler and Jolly, Chandler and Langman all working for different teams now. It's going to be a real battle for the pit crews. Who can get out in front? Who can have the quickest pit stop? Chandler looked good. Langman was a bit slower, and Jolly at the end of the pit lane, he's getting his pit stop served, and he comes out in the lead still. Actually, it looks, if anything, like Chandler's actually closer to Jolly than Langman is to Chandler, so potentially Chandler could well be close enough to challenge Jolly very, very soon as they come out of the pits. 1.4 seconds is the gap as they cross the pit lane exit line. 1.2 there for a brief moment, but Dutch Gamer Lars splitting crucially for Jolly himself and his rival, and that could well mean that this battle for potentially the race lead is over already before it even starts for Chandler, as he's now behind traffic and stuck. But he's actually going around the outside, down the inside there of Dutch Gamer Lars. He doesn't fight it too hard, but he has to go offline, compromised line. But Chandler has got through, and now he can potentially challenge Jolly still. And this battle may not be over like I just said it might have been. And this battle is still on for the race win for Chandler. 1.3 seconds is the gap between himself and Jolly on the Usina. As now in front, it is T10 Kingsley, the reserve today, making his first appearance in RFL Season 4 since Australia, the first round of the season where he DNF'd. Kingsley home for a good return today. Excellent Snowhead also pits, as T10 Pred also pits as well. So the front three now are in, but then T10 Pred was actually, was that just rain I saw? As Mulder has left the session, he's retired from the race. But I think, as, oh, Nuthead's tyres weren't ready. Oh, they were, and it's just a glitch. That's brilliant. But I believe that I just saw a bit of rain. The clouds have been bubbling up all race here, and I believe I might have just seen some rain here in RFL Britain. We'll have a look. We'll keep an eye on that. I'll keep you posted. I may well be wrong on that one. But Kingsley, where will he come out in relative to his rivals? He comes out actually ahead of Langman, who's stuck behind the traffic of Dutch Gamer Lars. And that is actually crucial for Kingsley. He's actually made the overcut work here in Britain, and he could potentially now be in a brilliant position to, well, beat Langman 17 and challenge Chandler. He was stuck behind a double DRS train and he couldn't do anything, but now he could well be cleared to make a move on Chandler and find a way past the Mercedes. But disastrous for Lightman, obviously, he lost a position. Not really sure how that's happened. As apologies for the notification that's come up on my PC, which you'll see. But now that's really not good news not good news at all for Langman 17, as Kingsley already making a move, already catching up to Chandler Saita 1, who is trying to hound in Jolly. And Jolly about to push some traffic of King Gamer, but will King Gamer pit? King Gamer's been out all those times for about 9 laps now. He does stay out, so actually this could be bad news for Jolly. He's going to be stuck up behind some traffic, and potentially in a part of the track he doesn't really like it, because at the moment I don't think he's going to be close enough to challenge down towards the Wellington Straight, which is probably where he wants to challenge. As look at Kingsley, he's already on the back of Chandler, just in DRS range, 7/7 of a second. By the end of the Wellington, that gap will be very close, and I think it could mean that Kingsley could well be in the potential not only to get Chandler here, but to get the race victory here in RFL Britain. As we're heading on board there with Chandler Saita, but Jolly stuck now behind King's Gamers, who is yet to stop in this race, as the yellow flag set to 3. Anti-Beacon has retired for the second time this season after what's been a rotten season so far for him. He's finished races, but he's always been underperforming to what he wants. Is there Jolly to the outside of King Gamers. King Gamers just lets him through, doesn't want to fight that battle. That's not his battle to fight, but that's bad news for Chandler, who really wanted something to happen so he could get involved in the battle with Jolly and potentially disrupt that lead that Jolly's built and really be held comfortably throughout this race. But now, out of Marcus and Beckett's, King's Gamers ahead of Chandler Saita. Chandler moving to the inside. Will King Gamer defend this one like he did to Jolly? He moves now to the inside of King Gamers, and now down the inside goes Chandler. King's Gamers holds his line though, and he's going to hold it well. And now Chandler versus King Gamers. King Gamers backs off and dives into the pit. He didn't want to cut across Chandler though and completely swipe him out, but that he's done a smart thing there and come into the pits, getting out of that battle with now Kingsley all over the back of Chandler Saita. Chandler's really not been held up very nicely there, as now Kingsley on the back of Chandler. Is he going to be able to find a way past the Mercedes man as through towards turn 2 and 3 we go? And out of turn 3, is this Kingsley's chance, is this Kingsley's opportunity to make a move on our race leader here in, well not a race leader, a provisional net race second place man. And this is going to be a potentially race-defining move for Kingsley. Could he win this race? I think he can. As now on the back of Chandler. Now that goes to the inside if he switches to it. And I've just messed up this last lap commentator, but it's fine because now on the exit of Brooklands and Woodcut and down towards Cops Corner we go. Kingsley on the back of Chandler Saita 1. The man has not raced since Australia, where he DNF'd, as I mentioned countless times so far, but he's on a return today, and he's on a prowl already, and look at him, he's hounding behind Chandler, he's finding a way past, he wants to find any sort of move that he can to get past Chandler Saita, the American versus the Canadian here, as King Liam to the outside he goes. Is he going to be able to make a move? I think he can make a move round the outside of Stowe. A brilliant move forced off the track there, but Chandler still holding his own round the outside in towards Club. But Kingsley's got the move, and not the Canadian, apologies. The Englishman has got the move done. I swear he used to go under the Canadian flag. But Kingsley has got the move done. That's the most important thing for him. And now, Jolly, 2.6 seconds up the road. Can Kingsley catch Jolly before the end of the race? He's on lap fresher tyres. How big of a difference will that make? Only time will tell for us, I'm afraid. As Aiden, apologies, I've just got some money, just a coin, if you heard that in the background. But Aiden on the back of Bumson. Bumson obviously caught up in a collision with Danny F31 earlier in this race down at Stowe, and now he's on a recovery drive. And Aiden not really been anywhere this race that I've seen. I'm not actually sure what's happened to him, but he's battling for P4 now, behind LCR Bumson. And Bumson, obviously, he won earlier in the season in Spain, but ever since that, he's never really been able to kick on from that form, and he kind of tailed off this season. And I think Bumson is really just wanting to get a bit of a break from this bad run of form, because China was brilliant, Azerbaijan was brilliant, and then it went to Spain, which was remarkable from Bumson, and then it's all gone downhill from there. And I think Bumson really just wants to catch a break at the moment, but he's now got a job to do to defend from X6 F1 Aiden in the Ferrari and also catch BMG Nomad, also known as Damon, who actually I think I just saw front wing damage of. Yes, there is front wing damage on the side of Nomad's car, which is why Brumson and Aiden are catching, and he's losing time to Adam, who is out in the lead at the moment and comfortably out in the lead. 8.7 seconds is the gap, but with the long pit lane here, I'd be surprised that that's very long. Excuse me, I'm just going to blow my nose here, so I'll leave you to the action for it. Right, I'm back. At the moment, Jolly now just 1.3 seconds behind X6 from Aiden. Kingsley not able to make inroads like he did on Chandler, and Chandler still sticking in at DRS for that battle for second place, or net second place, after the lead drivers made their pit stops. So, really, at the moment, Jolly in the league at the moment. Now he's approaching traffic. He's got Aiden, DRS assisted by Wilson, and he's now got to find a way past the Ferrari car. Will the Ferrari give way to Jolly like King's Gamer did? I doubt he did, and I'd be surprised if Aiden pits so soon. There's still a long way to go yet in this race, and he's on those medium compound tyres, so we might well see Jolly duck behind Aiden for a little bit, and Kingsley in the racing point could be given an opportunity here. But now, look at Jolly, he's trying to find a way past Aiden, who's actually had a slow exit from turn 1, the last corner, sorry. But Jolly not able to find a way in towards turn 1, and now in towards turn 3 to go look down the inside. No, he doesn't. He sinks better off it and stays behind X6 as now through the first complex in the corner as we go, and out towards the Wellington straight. I think Jolly is a bit too close for him to do anything about it. Aiden goes to the inside, but Jolly's got the move done before the corner even came, before the braking markers even came, and Jolly is up into P4 ahead of Aiden, and now crucially there is a car in between himself and his nearest rival. As Chandler actually is all over the back of Kingsley still, and the battle for P2 is still raging here. We thought it could have been over because Chandler was really not showing the pace that his rival was, but it really is not over, as Chandler and Kingsley are right there with each other, and it looks like Kingsley has got a battle on his hands to hold on to that position. And I think Chandler is going to be able to make a move as he head down. Now we got back track with this. I didn't actually add King Liam as the graphics, so unfortunately we just got Chandler's name, but there is Chandler that you're watching on your screen, and he goes now down the hill just behind Deacon Kingsley, but not enough as Brumson and Aiden are pitted. So now clear air has emerged for our race battle for second place, and Jolly on the back of Nomad here, who's had a huge run as he turned 2 goes. That was a huge moment for Nomad, not exactly what he wants, and now Nomad under pressure here from Jolly, who's now being held up massively as Kingsley can be catching all the time, and on the exit down towards Wellington straight. Nomad goes to the inside, Jolly to the outside. Will Nomad fight it hard down the inside? He does fight it, and he holds the inside line. Jolly on the switchback and around the outside of Woodcut. Is this going to be a move worth saving for Jolly, or is it going to be a move that backfires? Is that move worth saving? And he gets up into P2 ahead of BMG Nomad. He fought that position hard. He didn't want to give that up, even though he's not in the race. And fair play to him. He fought hard, but Jolly was the man who got the move done, and that could well mean that he's set to win this race now, because Kingsley is a long way behind and didn't really gain much in that period of time, and Adam is a long way ahead of Jolly and not going to be a factor in getting in the way of Jolly in this race. Adam is coming to this now at the end of 16 out of 26 in this race, and Jolly is going to be on new race leader again. He's won every single lap of this race after lap 1, except, well, he's done every single lap that he's been in the next, if that makes sense. It probably didn't make sense, because I'm an idiot sometimes. But yeah, Jolly now leads ahead of Stephen Kingsley, who's made up a place on Jolly's rival, Chandler Saito. So Jolly He's your man. I think, although we're only halfway in the season, if he wins this one, it's almost championship over. There you see Chandler in the background. That's kind of really been the story of this race. Jolly beating Chandler with Chandler, and he didn't think I thought he did, because he was racing off the corner. He's actually got a good exit. He's actually making a move on Kingsley. If he goes to the inside, he decides better off it. Kingsley has to stay in P2, but Chandler trying to find a way past, trying to fight his way past D10 Kingsley, and the looks of this, Chandler is going to have to stay in P3 for a little longer in this race. As here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I just had to blow my nose again. As Kingsley on the inside of Chandler. Chandler around the outside. Chandler tried to make a move there into Stowe. It just didn't work though around the outside. But that was brave stuff by Chandler. Brave defending by Kingsley. But Chandler just didn't have enough there to hold off the charging rampant Kingsley, who really tried to defend his position with all his might he's got at the moment. As Thunton won a poor run there for Kingsley, and a brilliant one for Chandler. Could give Chandler the opportunity, he thinks better of it, and stays behind in P3. And Kingsley still in P2. Chandler still in P3. But how long will this last? And will Langman get involved? He's catching this battle now as these two begin to squabble. As now on the exit down towards Brooklands and Woodcut. Chandler on the back of Kingsley once again, but not enough this time to even think about a move in towards Woodcut. And now he has to stay in P3 now up towards Cops. Because if he get a good exit, he can make an overtaking opportunity like we saw Danny almost do on Dutch Gamer last before. And he has got a good exit. Look at him there. He's catching. But I don't think it'll be enough to make a challenge. But he gets a good run through here, potentially in towards Mikes and Beckett, and then down the Hanger Straight, which is where he tried the move this time last lap on Kingsley. As Chandler looking every which way he can on the back of Kingsley. Kingsley in the racing point. He really wants to defend his position, but he just hasn't got the grip, he hasn't got the pace at the moment. And now Chandler down the Hanger Straight, slipstream DRS and closing. He goes to the outside. He's trying to find a way past. Kingsley defends the inside. Carbon copy of last lap, but is this going to work for Chandler this time round? He gets forced off wide, but on the inside in Club Corner, he could make a move, and down the inside he goes. He's made contact a little bit with Kingsley, but Kingsley holds the position, and Chandler holds P3. As now Chandler once again trying to on the back of Kingsley, getting a good run through turn 1 if he could do that and make a challenge into turn 3. Kingsley defends the inside. Chandler now going a wider line than Kingsley and could get a better run through turns 3 and 4 and 5 and down the Wellington Straight. But I don't think it's going to happen here, as he had a little squirm on the exit. Now Langman has joined this battle, and Nuthead, a reserve for this league, is not too far behind as well, with Cred all over the back of him. Don't count these two out in 5th and 6th. They are really quick today, and there wants to watch as Adam is in P7 at the moment. But at the moment we're battling for P2 in this race. It's a three-way battle, a three-way fight between three brilliant drivers, Kingsley, Chandler and Langman. Out 2, 3, 4. As now Chandler down towards Michael Beckett once again. We saw him make a move down the Wellington Straight last lap. We saw him make a move down the Wellington Straight 2 laps ago. But will it be third time lucky for Chandler Saito, the American? Has been frustrated for the last few laps here, behind the racing point of Kingsley. He looks a little bit further behind than he has so far, but he's still catching, and he's still going to have an opportunity into Stowe. But did he try it? No, he doesn't. He stays behind Kingsley, and Kingsley in the racing point decides he's going to defend that position, and he's not going to do anything about it. Fred has got down the inside there of Xbox Nuthead, and he's made the position stick on the Red Bull reserve driver. And Nuthead down to P6, but he's had a brilliant race so far, but it's not going to equal his best result with second place in Monaco, which was a remarkable result for himself. But he could not get a podium today if the battle at the front continues to brew, as Kingsley still ahead of Chandler, still ahead of Langman, and still ahead of the battle between Pred and Nuthead. As there goes Chandler down the inside a little bit, locking up, and now I could leave him vulnerable to Langman in the Red Bull as they head down the Wellington Straight, who's going to get a better exit, but with DRS for Chandler, that saved him, and that's been the saving grace of Chandler in this battle. Yellow flag in sector 3. King Gamer has had a collision, I believe, with Dutch Gamer Lars. They both dropped down a little bit of the order there. Babaku having a decent debut. He's in P12 at the moment. Not exactly where he wants to be, but back out in front still. We need to focus on this battle. We want to focus on this battle. A bit of contact now on the grass for Kingsley, but they're all coming through Cops line astern. 6/10 of a second separating the top, second, third, and fourth here. Jolly is in a league of his own at the moment, but through the middle sector we go. The Magnus and Beckett's complex, once again the most beautiful complex in the entirety of this track. As now, on the exit of Magnus and Beckett, once again, Chandler is a bit too far behind this time to even think about a move, unless he's a Daniel Ricciardo type dive bomb, but he stays behind. And he stays in P3. And now down the hill once again in towards Club. He stays where he is. As Scudini rightly points out, we should check the penalties whilst we have a little break in the action. So Jolly, absolutely nothing except a warning. Kingsley, 2 warnings. Chandler, nothing. Langman, 2 warnings. So the moment most drivers are there. Chandler making a move around the outside there of T10 Kingsley, trying to make a move, and now the inside in towards turn 4. He clips the curb there, clouds the curb, makes a bit of contact on the exit. Kingsley got the better exit, and now does this leave Chandler vulnerable to the Red Bull of Langman? It could well do, but Chandler being really aggressive there on T10 Kingsley. I assumed we were not going to get a move for a while, but it turns out we did. But at the moment, the top 5 have no penalties at all. Not sure about Nurhead, but I'm sure he doesn't either, considering how the rest of them have been doing it in the top. But Langman on the back of Chandler, on the back of Kingsley. Kingsley looking to the Chandler looking to the inside of Kingsley. As Chandler runs out wide, this could present opportunity for Langman 17 in towards Magnus and Beckett. He decides better of it, and now it's all even again. And they head towards Magnus and Beckett, and Kingsley's going to be all in the pressure once again. And they head out of Magnus and Beckett. 4/10 of a second is the gap, and they head down the straight. Chandler, slipstream. Is he going to look to the inside? He's going to find a way down the inside. He goes down the inside, but is it going to be enough to make the move? No, it's not. He just wasn't going to make a move. It's a very half-hearted move, and he stays in P3, and he stays behind the racing point of Kingsley, who's defended so valiantly and brilliantly so far this race. But there's still 5 laps to go in this race, and at the moment it's all in Jolly's hands and all in Kingsley's hands for P2. Chandler trying to put the pressure even more on Kingsley as they're falling back a little bit towards the Pren and Nuthead battle, but I believe that they're going to be safe from falling into that battle. They're not battling hard enough at the moment. Chandler actually got a poor run there from the exit of turn 4, and now look at Langman, he's right on the back of Chandler, but not enough. That DOS for Chandler really just giving a saving grace for Langman. The amount of opportunity Langman's had to overtake Chandler's, but nothing can ever happen because of the straight line speed of that Mercedes with the DRS assistance as well. So really, being frustrated here is Langman 17. He's going to have to hope for a mistake from the front 2, or a massive mistake, which massive opportunity in their squabbling that could present itself to Langman, which Langman has to be opportunistic in this race now if he wants any chance of getting a podium here, because at the moment it's not going that way for him. As now Chandler, 2/10 of a second to gap. This is closer than he's been for the last few laps. As now DOS being enabled, he goes to the outside. Kingsley defending the inside, but it's not going to be enough for Kingsley to hold on to P2. Actually, it is enough, for him to hold on to P2. As Chandler around the outside just isn't able to make a move, and Langman behind just not able to make a move also. As now Fred beginning to close the gap out towards this battle, but it's not going to be quick enough, I'm afraid, with 4 laps left to go. I think that this battle is going to go right down to the wire here. Potentially a last lap move could do it. As now Bunsen actually set the fastest lap there. But the battle is on between Chandler Saita and T10 Kingsley and Langman 17, as they all line astern once again on lap 23 of this race. As look at Langman there trying to make a move there. He's got a brilliant exit from Woodcut, and now he has got the opportunity to compensate. He just didn't manage to take it, and he didn't manage to find a move, and that could well be opportunity lost there for Langman to get a sniff on second place. because at the moment he's just stuck behind Chandler, who's really stuck behind Kingsley at the moment. He's really defending brilliantly in this race, but Jolly at the moment still looking stronger in front, but it's still Chandler now. He's 3.5 steps behind. He's using slipstream. He's using EOS. He's using DOS. He moves to the inside this time, not the outside. He goes down the inside of Stowe. Will King Liam be able to hold this one? I think he might not be able to. He does hold on to it though somehow on the outside, and nothing can be done by Chandler to get past this time around. And once again it stays Kingsley, Chandler and Langman as your 2, 3, 4 positions. As Langman now on the back of Chandler, there's an opportunity for Chandler to make him to have to defend a little bit. Yellow flag is set to 2, 3. Who is that for? I'm not sure. Danny and Clenzo battling here actually for P8 and P9. Clenzo getting the position ahead of Langman there. Not Langman, Bumson there. Not Bumson, right? Clenzo getting the position, sorry, on Danny. My words are very messed up tonight, I do apologise. But Danny on the back of Clenzo will keep on board. We'll keep an eye on this battle, but we'll definitely keep on board with the lead battle, or P2 battle, because this is the one that is really taking all the headlines tonight in RFL Britain, BMG RFL Britain. Chandler is a representative of BMG. Kingsley is a representative of T10 Racing, a new racing team actually, that's been formed quite recently, and Langman is unaffiliated, so we've got a battle between 2 teams and a solo driver, and now it's all to play for this P2. Jolly out in front at the moment, but really the attention, like it kind of was in the British Grand Prix, is not on the lead, it's on the battle for the podium, and it's Kingsley versus Chandler versus Langman. Line of stun they have been for the last 10 or so laps here, and Chandler's not able to find any sort of opportunity, any sort of opening here to make a move on Kingsley as Langman. Also not able to find any sort of opportunity to make a move on his rival Chandler. So we're right on board for a little bit with Langman 17 trying to find a way past Chandler and Kingsley. And up towards turn 3 is an opportunity for Chandler. Look at him go, he goes to the outside of the track, but he can't make a move around the outside. And now Kingsley defending inside, and there goes Langman down the inside, making a bit of contact there with Chandler, but he's up to P3. Opportunistic, as I mentioned Langman has to be. He was there, and he's made a move, and he's up to P3, but look at Chandler, he's coming back now on the outside, down towards Brooklands. Is this going to be a do or die move for Chandler? No, it's not. He has to stay in P4, and that could be championship defining as well as race defining here in Britain, as Langman's up to P3 and Chandler down to P4. And look at Pred now. Pred is only 1.2 seconds behind this battle. He'll be coming into it in the last lap here, along with Xbox Nuthead, who's been dragged along with him. So it could well be a 5-way battle for the final, for 2 podium positions behind Jolly here on the final lap of the race. And what a show that will be. The Langman on the back of Kingsley. Langman on the back of Kingsley, and they head up towards Stowe. Is this going to be a move that Chandler was able to make? But Langman's going to make first time of asking. No, it's not. Langman just too far behind Kingsley to make a move this time round. But Langman is the one to watch now, with just a few moments to go in this race. The final lap has been started by Jolly. We've seen nothing of him since the first pit stops. He's been dominant out in front this race, but really a lot of it's come due to this amazing battling coming from P2, P3, P4 and soon to be P5 and 6 if we just had a few more laps left to go in this race, as up towards the final lap for the final time in towards the Wellington Straight. This has got to be a good exit and a good run through this the complex of corners for Langman to make any sort of challenge down towards Brooklands, but I think he's a bit too far behind this time round, as Kingsley is going to hold his own down towards Brooklands. But how aggressive is Langman willing to be? Is he going to try something aggressive, or is he going to settle for P3? And through Woodcut we go, and down towards Copse Corner once again for the final time. Langman's got to try and find anything now. There is only a couple kilometres to go in this race, and through goes Langman behind Kingsley, trying to find any way possible through Maggins and Beckett now. He's so close to Kingsley, trying to find a way through, but just not able to. The amazing point is as wide as it can be, and it's Langman's span. Langman has spanned around by himself. He's set to track, but crucial for there, Langman. And now look at Chandler, he's making a move on Kingsley. He goes to the outside of Chandler, and Chandler versus Kingsley on the final lap of the race. Wow, the outside goes Chandler. on Kingsley. There's been contacted. Kingsley having a huge moment there for challenge up to P2. But here comes Jolly. He's going to take the win here today. He's going to win in RFL Britain and extend his championship lead. A brilliant drive there by Jolly. Chandler comes home in second ahead of Kingsley. Kingsley got a penalty, so Nuthead gets the podium. Ahead of Pred, ahead of Kingsley, ahead of Langman with that last lap collision there. Adam will come home P7. What a dramatic finish there. Langman span, Chandler made a move, but then Kingsley had that all-important penalty which he picked up near the end of the race, which I missed, unfortunately, which means Nuthead somehow got past Heath and Pred to claim that final podium spot. But Jolly is your race winner today. Adam came in P7, Bumson came in P8, Clenzo P9, Danny rounding off the points, Vapid Coot on return P11, XXF1 P12, Dutch Gamer Lars P13, Flying Rossi P14, King Gamers 8 in P15 on debut today for him. BMG Nomad will come home 16th ahead of Grumpy Lion, who will come home in 17th and last place. So, a brilliant race there in BMG RFL Britain. That really makes up for what was a disaster in Tier 2. Not gonna really sugarcoat that, as BMG Nomad picks up the final fast flat point there on the last moment, as I've been referred to game chat so I can hear BMG Kansas, so apologies for the breathing there down the mic. I will mute that actually right now I'll mute it in a moment here. But here are your race results, as we now we'll see the podium first, and now we'll move on to the race results. So, as you can see, I've just gone, I thought I clicked resume there, as Jolly wins ahead of Chandler, ahead of Nuthead, ahead of Pred. But a brilliant race by the top three, a brilliant race by Jolly, and a brilliant battling from second down to sixth, with Kingsley and Langman in P5 and P6 respectively. Adam P7 ahead of Bumson. The Dutchman finishes P8 ahead of the two Brits of Clenzo and Danny. Vapicook comes home P11, with XXF1 Aiden coming home in P12. This Gamer Lars comes home in P13 ahead of Flying Rossi. King Gamers 8, BMG Nomad, Grumpy Line. Then you had two DNFs of Antibeacon and Mulder. And then you also had the W of Verstappen, who disconnected before the start of the race after qualifying on pole position. So unfortunate for him. As a brilliant race here in RFL. But now, though, in the honour of the winning driver, we will be playing the national anthem of Britain. So congratulations to Jolly, your winning driver from today's race. So I'm just having a couple of problems with the podium interviews, getting them sorted. So we'll give that just a moment to set up. But what a race we had today. And I think that's going to be one that, especially that battle for P2, really goes down in history of RFL as a great, because it was a great race. I'm sure you'll all agree. And I think that's going to be one that we remember for a long, long time. It looks as if it's not working, unfortunately. Podium interviews for now are going to be after cancelled. I will try and figure out how to sort the podium interviews out as soon as possible. But as last week and this week again, podium interviews are not possible because of the way this stream works. I'm going to have to figure out a possible solution to this as soon as I can. But this race has been amazing, and we'll see you all hopefully for next race, next time out in what's going to be a brilliant race, hopefully, in Germany. We saw a brilliant race in real life, and we're going to hopefully see it in RFL. So, we'll see you next time, and thank you all for watching, and goodbye.